You know, one of the biggest killers of a fishing trip is feeling rushed. So, I'm going to give you guys some tips on how not to feel rushed into your trip with your kids. Hey, this is Trapper, Trip with Dad, where every trip becomes a story you'll tell for years. You know, some of those stories that I have that I've done with my kids and some of the trips that we've been on, um, some of the first ones, I always remember trying to get everyone out the door, trying to make this happen, trying to get this to work right, this plan to work perfectly, to make everything detailed and all the way down to every single thing. This has to be the way it is, and I gotta have it like this, or I'm not gonna make this happen. I don't know how this is gonna work, and we get stuck. We get stuck. We get overwhelmed. Everything on our shoulders, and we're just thinking, how is this gonna happen? And biggest thing, guys, is remember this: is that you don't need to have the perfect plan. You don't need to have the perfect time. Nothing has to be the word perfect in it. So take time to plan things out. Take time to figure out when you're going to go. Take time to figure out what kind of snacks you're going to bring. Take time to figure out what it's going to be to, weather-wise going into that day or those 2 or 3 days or however long you're going to go on a trip. I suggest personally that if this is your first trip, to not go more than a 1 day or maybe overnight somewhere. You know, when you get a couple trips under your belt down the road here, definitely go for 3, 4, 5, 6 days. My son and I are already planning June 7th through 11th. And I actually asked him when he wanted to go this year. And he thought about it, put the dates together, and said, let's go June 7th through the 11th. I love it because he picked it. And I don't feel rushed. You know, this is April 1st right now. And no fooling, we're going June 7th to the 11th. We've already started talking about it. We start talking about we're going to go to Cabotogama for a couple of days. We always stay at Arrowhead Lodge up there. I'm not promoting any specific place. I'm just saying that's where we like to go. My son loves the duck wontons there, by the way. And so, Mike, if you're seeing this, hey, it's awesome, you know. And we that's a tradition for us. We go to Cabotogama. That's where we start every trip now. And this has been going on for years. This is our eighth, ninth trip this year, or this as father son going to Cabotogama, and we just absolutely love it there. I love that lake, and then we're gonna go to Vermilion for a couple of days. But you know what? We may not. We might end up at another lake, and there's no rushing to go to one place, to go to this place, to do this thing, to do that thing. And that is the beauty of these kind of trips, is that you don't need to just make a perfect plan and stick to it. These trips happen when you go off plan, when you go away from everything that you think you figured out. That's when things really kick in and really happen that are fun. Because to give you an example, for 1 day that my son will wake up. A lot of times I love to fish a lot, and my son likes to sleep in. The last thing I want to do is make the trip so that he has to get up early and go fishing with me when he likes to sleep in. I asked him the night before, say, hey, are you okay if I take the boat out for a couple hours at early morning, and I'll come back in about 9:30 and pick you up if you're awake, and if you're not, we'll get breakfast. We'll go get coffee like we typically do, or we'll go drive to another town a little ways and have a breakfast at a diner. Sometimes we go to International Falls and look at different paper plant up there, or sometimes we just go to buy a bait shop. Maybe we go to a store, might go to a restaurant for lunch, might go back and get on the water and do a little fishing, a little sightseeing. But see, that's the kind of stuff we do on our trips now. It's not about me going fishing all day long. It's not about him going fishing all day long. Matter of fact, my son only likes to fish when he's with me on these trips. The rest of the year, hardly ever picks up a fishing pole. You know, and that's okay. Because This is about him. This is about the time spent with him and what he wants to do. And yeah, we're on our trip together, but it's about the time he wants to do stuff. And there's no rushing that. There's no making that rigid in a schedule. It's just taking that time to be intentional with him and just to enjoy whatever experience pops out of that. And you'll have a lot more fun on your trip.